Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to share a quick video. I normally this channel is Taylor and Trey. Um, I may start posting some videos with my thoughts just to get them out of my head. But this one in particular, I wanted to share. It was a God moment that I had this past weekend where I felt an overwhelming sense of His presence, and it gave me a real kind of sense of peace and confidence to deal with a tough situation that's going on. Um, Holidays are tough around the Kimbrell household. Holidays can be a trigger for my kids. Um, I won't get into that today, but we'd come off of Christmas and New Year's, and this was a tough year for them around that time. So I'm laying in bed and I'm handwriting the Bible. I started doing this a few months ago just as a way to study more deeply and um, really dive into it, try to understand it better than when I'm simply reading it. For me, that works. Um, and when I went to go start handwriting the Bible, I went to the store and I bought a notebook and a pen. I said, okay, this is the notebook. It's a nice little notebook. I'm going to just use this to start with, and we'll see where it goes from there. Might as well go ahead and buy a good handwriting pen, and just keep it with the notebook. And that's the pen I always use when I'm writing for this, for this little project. And so get up to this past weekend. I'm writing. I'm going through. I don't read ahead. I'm just writing each verse out. I'm thinking about it. I'm noticing patterns and studying it and just meditating on it as I'm writing it. But I'm also thinking, man, this pen is running out of ink. It's been running out of ink for about a week now. I've been, every time I use it, it gets a little bit harder to write with. And I know that the end of this pen is about to happen. I'm going to have to get a new one. So I went to write a verse. It was, I think, verse 29 of chapter 12 in Matthew. And this verse, it was like writing with sandpaper. The pen is just giving up. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm going to stop. But as I'm writing the verse, I come to realize this is the same verse that 4 months ago someone who's a good friend of mine was just going through a tough time in their life, and we spent a good amount of time talking about this verse, and it had an impact on them. It was their moment where they actually got saved. They accepted Christ and got baptized right around that time, and it felt in that moment like that verse was the trigger for that. And the verse was really relevant to a lot that was going on with them. But when I'm writing it down and the pen ran out of ink, and I'm like, okay, I had this moment of realization of like, this is the verse. And it felt like maybe a coincidence, or maybe it's God telling me, hey, I'm there. I know you're going through something. It was a good kind of reminder of His presence, and it was a comfort. But it was also like, hey, you can't give up. You got to keep going. You got to deal with this and move on and be strong. So I don't know. It was cool. I hope that as a Christian, you get many of those moments, and I hope that I will continue to have them throughout my life, because it's a nice boost when we're feeling like maybe we're not going down the right path, or God is not you know, not feeling as close as he normally feels. But anyway, that's my story. Time's up. I got to go. Y'all have a good one.